I hope you're sitting down, because I have a story for you. The setting was 6th grade. It was springtime, and my 6th grade class was going on a field trip to Ellis Island. And I had all the preparations prepared. I had my partner picked out. I had my backpack. It was small, it was maroon, and it was a 2-strap backpack, but the 2 straps had zippered ends, and if you zip them together, it became 1 strap, which is so much cooler than 2 straps. We went on the trip. There was a bus ride and then a ferry ride, and then we were in the place, and what I recall was a large empty space. Might have been a tour guide, I'm not really sure. I distinctly recall looking around the large empty space. It had pictures and probably some artifacts, and I felt a kinship to my ancestors from generations back that had come to America, this soil, and had come through this Ellis Island system. Of course, my ancestors never actually went through Ellis Island, and I knew that. But I didn't care because the tapestry of humanity was calling to me, of American humanity in the United States, really. Anyway, we exited the museum, and it was coming onto evening. It was dusk. The sun was setting over the water, and it was a beautiful moment. So my friends and I, and there was a nice group of us, and we wanted to commemorate this moment. So we gathered. There was the water, like I said, behind us with the setting sun, probably, and there was a low stone wall, probably hip height. If I had to, if you were making me say something, it was probably hip height, and with a nice ledge on it, nice, probably 1 foot, 1.5, no, 1 foot, 1.5 feet, foot ledge. And we gathered there. A whole group of us. We just crowded together on the stone wall, trying to get in the frame for the picture. And we called someone over and we didn't throw them, but we gently gave over all our cameras, and she was holding all our cameras, cluttered around her on the floor and in her arms, and she was going one after another, and some of the cameras, and this was before the digital age, okay? So some of the cameras were disposable, and she would, wind it and then snap. And some kids, and I never understood this, but some kids would rewind, would wind the camera after the snap in preparation for the next picture. But I thought that was the stupidest thing ever, because anything can push the button, and then you're wasting 1 out of 24 or 27 shots. It's just gone. So I always wound my camera before each shot. But on that trip, I was lucky enough to bring a real camera, the kind that had film in it. And she's there taking pictures. And all of a sudden, from behind her, we see my teacher. She was flipping out. Her hands were going, her hands were waving in the air, and her hair was crazy, and she was like, "What are you girls doing?" I thought it was pretty obvious what we were doing. We were taking a picture. And she was like, "What are you girls doing? Are you trying to commit suicide?" We were rolling. Suicide. She had a point system, I remember, and I never got points. And I was a good student, but she never gave me points that I can recall. And she said, "You're not getting points on this trip." And I said, "Okay." It's not like I was getting points anyway. From today's perspective, looking back, I completely sympathize with her. But back then, we thought it was the funniest thing ever. It was the funniest thing ever. Yeah, there's like maybe 100-foot drop to the rocks and the water below, but she was just crazy. So anyway, she broke us up, and so we each took back our cameras and got back on the bus and got on the ferry, and she's telling all the chaperones and the teachers who are on the trip about how crazy we're being, and we were telling all our classmates about how crazy she was being. The trip finishes up, we get back to school, I get home, I I want to develop my pictures. Had to see, finally get that picture. Better have been worth all that trouble. Well, it turns out that camera, my fancy camera, it didn't have any film in it. There was no film in the camera. I probably looked at it like 3 times and close it and open it up again, and there was no film in it. I'd completely forgotten to put in, or I assumed probably that someone else had put in. Why would you have a camera and not have film in it? I don't know what happened to this day, but man, that was one trip that I remember really well. Hi, my name's Aliza, and I hope you enjoyed that little story. It was rather fun. I miss doing YouTube videos. It's been way too long since I've done one. This particular video was inspired by Olan Rogers. If you don't know him, you should check him out. I'll put a link to his channel below, and he's really funny. He does a couple of different kinds of videos, but one of the types of videos he does, one of the types of videos is this, just like telling stories in a very humorous way. And he cracks himself up and always looks like he's having a really good time, and I wanted to have a good time too, so I decided to give it a shot myself. I hope you enjoyed it. I might just have other stories to tell about school. You can keep an eye out for those if you'd like. Until next time. Bye.
If you want to see more videos from me, you can check out my previous video, which is clearly labeled on this screen, or you can subscribe to my channel, which is also clearly labeled on this screen, and then you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you. Thank you very much.